Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video. And in today's video, you see the title, we're going to be speaking about Katy Perry, okay? I have a couple of things I want to say about her, just some thoughts, some rants, my opinions, my feelings, because I grew up listening to this queen, so I just want to ramble about her, nothing too serious. So if you're interested in pop, hip-hop, R&B, trending topics, conspiracy theories, female rap, like I talk about a lot of different things here, so go on ahead and subscribe. And let's get into this video. So I just want to talk really quick because it's like I've been thinking about this for a bit. Why is Katy Perry's pop legacy so slept on? Like, can we really sit down and analyze this? Because, like, I think about these things and I think about Katy Perry and other, like, pop stars of, like, the 2010s, the early 2000s more and more because pop just is not popping like that nowadays. It's not the same pop of yesteryear. And for a legend, an icon, like Katy Perry to be so slept on and so like left out of pop topic conversations and things like that. It's really annoying because the pop stars that we have now, some of them who are like really popular, I shall name no names, are okay at best. Some of the pop stars that we have now that are like really popular and like everybody loves them supposedly, they're okay at best. They are average at best. They aren't giving us the bops that the legends before them gave. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's not the same. And for artists like Katy Perry to be so immensely slept on, overlooked, and even like mocked, ridiculed, talked about, called a flop, all of these different things from like regular people that I see on like Instagram, Twitter, I see a lot of negative stuff around Katy Perry's name, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna humor it. I'm gonna humor it to a degree because I understand that Katy Perry's was a 2010s icon. She definitely made the definition of bubblegum pop. Totally understand that. She's not the most analytical and deep when it comes to her lyricism all the time. I totally get that. Like, she's not like Adele or something like that. She doesn't have like this like it's not like you're going to get a deep like anthem from her consistently. A lot of her top bops have been more fun. Fine, I can recognize that, but that does not take away from her legendariness. You know what I'm saying? She literally defined one of the people who defined pop in the 2010s, and I just don't understand how a lot of people she's not looked at the same as like Lady Gaga or just other people from that time that really defined the year, to really define the pop genre. Like, I feel like she's overlooked, pushed aside, cast aside, and talked about like a gimmick, talked about like a moment in time that was here and then passed. When Katy Perry wasn't a moment in time that was here and then passed, Katy Perry was the moment. Does that make sense? Like, Katy Perry was the 2010s. You know what I mean? So it's like the fact that I just don't see her brought up amongst like pop legend conversations, like, you know, it bothers me. It genuinely bothers me as a Katy Perry fan. There are different conversations that I've seen around Katy Perry. I've seen, you know, she makes typical girl power anthem music and that there's nothing special about it. I've heard that, you know, people cast her aside because the aesthetic of her early 2010s run was bubblegum pop, crazy stage sets, you know, crazy hair, crazy you know, costumes, you know, the whipped cream shooters on her bra, you know, her sets having a bunch of different people running around in costumes and stuff like that, and some people likened it to being childish and gimmicky. But like, what? The 2010s literally were filled with artists who were doing the same thing as Katy Perry. Like, has everybody forgotten about Nicki Minaj? Nicki Minaj was running around here looking crazy. You know what I mean? She had the colorful hair. She had the, you know, the outfits. She had the stage sets. She had the you know, super crazy Roman aesthetic and voice and sound. And like Nicki Minaj looked very similar to Katy Perry in a certain way back then. Lady Gaga, you know, with her costumes with her having stuffed animals all over her dress and meat carcasses and crazy hats and crazy, like, why is Katy Perry then, with all of those things going on, made fun of or talked down about, like, that time when she was dressing like that, when she was acting like that, when her stage looked like that, when she was performing and her music videos were, you know what I mean? Like, why does she get like the bad end of that stick when other people were doing similar things, but they're acclaimed as legends and icons? Lady Gaga, legend icon. Nicki Minaj, legend icon. Katy Perry, left out of those conversations. Like, I'm all over Twitter, all over Instagram, all over. And I see people just praising the greats of the past all the time. But Katy Perry is just never brought up. She's hardly ever brought up. And if she is brought up, somebody's making fun of one of her vocal runs. Somebody's making fun of, her eras that didn't go well, which were, we know what eras didn't go well from Katy. Like, we know. Her last couple of albums. Smile, it did okay. Didn't do amazing. A lot of people didn't really care for it. The album she had before that, Witness. Okay, we all know a lot of people didn't necessarily care for that album as much as like her previous work as well. Okay, we can recognize that. Sometimes our faves don't put out the best albums, or sometimes our faves don't put out the best singles. Okay, but I don't think that that should impact her legendariness, and I feel like it has. I feel like to some people it has. I feel like after she dropped Witness and Smile, people just like kind of casted Katy Perry aside, even though it's like that doesn't undo what she's done before, though, even if those albums aren't like the most amazing. I also kind of think like the way most people view pop has shifted now. We don't look at pop the same way that we looked at it in the 2010s era, where pop was more fun and just silly and carefree and just had a good feeling to it. We look at pop now, at least in the recent years, as more like emotional and angsty and serious and sad. I think that causes people to look back at Katy Perry's legacy and not take it serious because she didn't make music like that. Like, she didn't make overly emotional music. She didn't make music that had like these super deep meanings to them all the time. She did have meaningful songs, but like her biggest records are not super like deep, introspective, meaningful songs. And so I think because pop has kind of shifted in the way that it's more like emotional, like artists like Halsey had came onto the scene, Olivia Rodrigo, Adele, Lorde, etc., etc. These massive pop stars that made music that were completely different, like completely different than what we've known for the 2010s. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like Katy Perry's music got pushed aside because it wasn't deep enough for people. But I don't think her music needs to be deep all the time in order to solidify her legendary status in pop music. And I think she's just being ignored all the time, like constantly ignored. I think the main critiques that I've seen negative against Katy Perry is some people feel that she has a lack of lyricism and her image was too childish, and that has made her less of a pop icon somehow. And I just disagree with that. Like, I just disagree with that. I don't think that those things should like determine whether or not Katy Perry was really the pop icon that she was, and that people online are constantly criticizing her about that and the fact that they feel like her last two projects flopped, which they did not do the best commercially. No, they didn't. She did have a couple of singles off of there that did okay, but the projects in its entirety aren't, like legendary projects from Katy. That's for sure. They're definitely not like her best work. But again, all of these things considered, I still don't think that it should impact what she did for music. Like, I am stern on that. Like, a little bit of a segue, like pop music in recent years has become like these types of songs, which I hate. I hate. Like, I understand they're like more deeper, I guess, but I hate it. It's like pop music has become, I know Victoria's Secret. Da-na-na-na. You guys know that song, the Victoria's Secret, about like, I cannot stand that. And the, You Need to Calm Downs by Taylor Swift. Cannot stand that overly political type of music. And even the song like Little Numb Bug, which I actually love that song. Do you ever get a little bit tired of life? Like, you're not really happy, but you don't want to die. Like, great song. I love that song because it's relatable. It's like it encapsulates like how a lot of people feel. But that is what pop music is now. Like the songs that are coming out, like Olivia Rodrigo is a huge example of this. Like her music is very like, I'm so sad. And a lot of the music that's come out recently is leaning towards like overly emotional, sad, depressing, either political, um, just very like draining type of music. And Katy Perry had such an uplifted and positive spirit and message in pop, and I loved that time. And we're just not in that time of pop music anymore. I don't think people are looking for that anymore. Like in general, I don't think that's something that people want. I think people want like deeper, more introspective pop, which I can appreciate to a degree. But there's nothing wrong with Katy Perry's version of pop, and I miss it so much, and I wish we could integrate that more into the times today. And I think because pop has shifted so much in the way we consume it, I think that's the reason why Katy Perry is just slept on now, because pop has changed so much in the last 10 years. And Katy Perry's version of pop is like looked at as if it's like nothing. That's the vibe I'm getting from people, you know? But anyway, I just wanted to make this video to just hype up my girl and talk about how much I miss her and how much I respect everything that she's done. And while you guys need to talk about her more in the pop legend icon status that she is. And I know some of you guys do, but a lot of y'all don't. A lot of you don't. A lot of you don't. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.